Up for Reverend Dr. Ronell Brewer. Give it up for him, y'all.
Yeah. Um, so, transparency moment. Went to this Hope conference a couple weeks ago, and we got these pins, a lapel pin that is about the full armor of God. And I've been wearing mine to work almost every day, simply because it's constant attacks where I feel like I need the full armor of God with me. And it's kind of crazy because, like in Ephesians 6:7, it says to wear the full armor of God to prevent the devil's schemes. But lately, what I've been dealing with that's been bothering me a lot, it's not the devil's schemes per se, but it is me being hard on myself. And I don't know if this is going to help anybody out here, but this is a life talk. I want you guys to understand that sometimes it's not the devil beating us up, it's us beating ourselves up. And, you know, trying to follow God is not an easy thing. Yesterday we went to an event, and the title of the sermon was Being Cut Out for This. And there have been times where I've questioned, am I cut out for this? You know, there's times where I look and I see so many problems that I'm facing. People calling me with what's going on at work and trying to get me to solve their work problems. People calling me about their relationship problems. People calling me, you know, about trying to figure out what they need to do, the next move in their life. And at times I'm like, I don't even know what my next meal is, what my next minute is. If I'm gonna tie shoes or I'm gonna get Velcro because I'm getting too old to bend over. I mean, I don't know if I'm cut out for this sometimes. And sometimes I look at it and I'm like, am I really cut out for this? And it was a struggle for me to actually hear him yesterday to talk about that, because God ordains people to be in your life for certain reasons. And when you're so hard on yourself, you know, that's how things happen. And you know, long story short, what ended up happening for me was that I've been dealing with a lot of my friends' issues, a lot of my family issues, a lot of things that are going on in this world, trying to mentally process and compartmentalize and put them in places where I can be of the most service. And 37 years of my life were not about trying to help other people. 37 years of my life were about trying to help me. So these last 10 years of my life trying to figure out how to switch into that lane has not been the easiest thing for me. And so what ends up happening is that you sit there and you look and you miss some things. You miss the times where you're supposed to be quiet and just listen to your wife. You miss the times where your kids are expressing things to you because they're not saying it in words, but they're saying it in actions, because you're so worried about trying to fix the world's problems. So I started beating myself up on that situation. And what really hit me hard, one of my friends way back in October had put into our little group chat from growing up. He put into the group chat, no easy way to say this, fellas, but I got cancer. And everybody in the group chat was like, let's get ready for the fight. I love you. I mean, we got your back, this, that, and the other. And at that point in my life, you know, I'd had person after person after person either battling cancer, dying from cancer, getting diagnosed from cancer. I just clicked like on all of my friends' things, and I didn't respond because I was trying to block that part out, because I was so inundated with cancer and I was over it. And I told my wife, and she's like, well, what did you say to him? I said, I ain't said anything to him yet. You know, I'll call him. October, November, December, January, February, March. It clicked. I never called him. We talked in our chat. We spoke. We talked about everything else. I'm posting pictures, everything else. But I never one time called him to say, bruh, how you doing? What's going on with you? Do you need anything? Not one time. And I was so hurt when I actually realized it, because I knew I had hurt my friend. So I called my friend to apologize. And as I apologized, you know, he didn't answer the phone. The first 3 times I called, it went straight to voicemail. So I was like, man, he don't want to talk to me. And I wasn't mad at him, because I would be hurt too, you know? And so eventually I ended up texting him. I was like, hit me up when you got a chance. And he called me back. He's like, what's up? And I told him, you know, everything that was going on, what I had done mentally, how I processed and blocked it out, and that, you know, I understood if he was upset, let me know if there's anything I could do. And he was like, message received. I was like, well, I mean, I know it's not fixing anything. And the thing about it is, when you go through something like that, there's nothing that anyone else can fix. So I had to jump into my Bible to figure out how to cope with it. And I wasn't coping with it very well. Like literally I was feeling terrible, beating myself up. So I found these verses in the Bible. Galatians 6:2 says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. So that's what we're supposed to do as Christians, is we're supposed to be able to bear each other's burdens. I didn't do a good job of that. Then it says, therefore confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. As we ended our conversation, he said, bro, I know it's a lot going on in life. He's like, I know that for me, mortality became real. And although we found it early and they say they're going to be able to fix it and everything, it did hurt that you're getting called. But I appreciate that you manned up to call and tell me that you messed up. And that was there. That right there made me feel a little bit better. Then it was rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. He knows now that I'm going to be in his corner. He knows now that I'll be there for him. I told him I'd take off work if I need to come and take you to the hospital and everything else, which he told me he had enough people for him. He's going to be all right. But at this time, when I say that I was beating myself up, my next door neighbor, they're going through it with cancer. I got another friend right now, just found another tumor on their brain. I mean, it's a lot going on, and that word itself just makes me shut down sometimes. So I've had to find how to be empathetic for those going through things that I couldn't imagine, things that I've never myself experienced, but make sure that I'm there to mourn with them when they mourn and let them be there make sure I'm there for them when they're ready. Then it says, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you'll find, knock, the door will be open to you. I asked him for forgiveness, he gave it to me. I can't sit here and say that we'll ever be as close as we were, but I do know that he's forgiven me and that he doesn't hate me and he's not mad at me. So the person that's still beating me up is me. It's not anyone else. It's not the devil. It's not anyone else, because in the day, every last one of us, we used to have this, and I'm going to give you guys a censored version. In my bike club, we used to say, your stuff is not more important than my stuff. Because there's a reality that each and every one of us is going through a lot of things in our lives. And the way that we deal with them is because they are the things that impact us. So we have to make sure that we're there to understand and be there for each other so that we can support each other, but be there to listen and not to judge. We're here to listen, not to judge. Make sure that we're there so that we can go ahead and do what it is, that we can push each other forward and be there to be each other's supports, because you never know what someone's going through. And I'm sharing this with you all because I know when I was in school, I used to feel like teachers used to go to work and then, they were teachers when they got off of work. I saw them doing anything else in the store. I'm like, what they doing in here? They shop? So when you see a pastor or a reverend, I don't want you guys to think that we're not human as well, because all of us are going through something, and we have to figure out how to deal with those somethings. And that's the Life Talk for today.